This reminds me again of what my colleague Rod Brooks had said. If you believe that everything is just if you only believe in the material stuff, and maybe you also subscribe to kind of a whole chain of events that were random and undirected, and there was no other shaping of that, and no meaning, no purpose out, present in any of that, then it's very hard to get meaning and purpose in our daily existence, and to get meaning and purpose from comforting somebody, or meaning and purpose from building technology to try to help people. What's the point, right? So yeah, I actually think we need to recognize that we all seek that. I mean, our very conversation here would have no meaning or purpose, right, if those things didn't exist. We'd be wasting our time.
If I were to talk to him, I would have to ask for some definition of terms. Forever, people have defined two concepts, if you wish, for, if you want to call it universe, you want to call it God. Is there a creator of the universe, or is there a personal God, my God, and the one that I talk to and that cares for me? And the concept of the personal God and the creator God has to be separated. And you walk the mystic walk, but you have to do it with practical feet. And since we understand about the Big Bang and the time and space thing, the idea of the universal God has sort of been separated, whichever way you define it. The issue of the personal God clearly has to do with him watching what I do. And of the 5 branches of philosophy, metaphysics, we have all agreed that now sort of is out of the range of science. But ethics is the one that is most importantly deals with daily activity of the scientist and whoever does anything, but particularly, I hope, for all of the healthcare folks here, particularly for our medical students and physicians, is particularly ethics becomes very important. And of course, that is where we look toward ethical systems to guide us in our actions. Now, is that so peculiar that we have to particularly choose one rather than the other? Is the idea of good universal? It is universal. I was listening to Dr. Picard and the emotion business with the robot. It is fascinating that if you look among all nations and all parts of nations all over the world, expressions of emotion in our face is the same. It's the same, no matter where you go. So the first thing I learned, I always thought that the same way that our dogs sort of look like us because they learn from us how to respond. I swear to you, we have a little dog, my daughter has Delilah, she smiled just like me. And now I decided that she must have learned it from me. But then if all dogs smile like Delilah, then that's something about smiling of dogs. So we all smile the same way. We hurt the same way. We frown the same way, no matter where in the universe we are. I mean, our universe, of course, there might be some other place too. So the issue of ethics becomes so important, separate from systems. Ethics is universal. That's what Kant said. So if you are trying to set up an ethical system, it should be such that it could become universal. That is the imperative. So here we are, and whichever way we define it, and whichever path we choose, we are choosing the path of ethics. We are choosing the path toward good. We are choosing the path toward good. And good to us is service for those of us who deal with other people. And whichever part of the world you are and whatever you do, it's again service. And that to me is the ultimate. Now, is that the same thing as creation of the universe? Of course, I have difficulty with that in terms of the Big Bang. But is that to me my personal God? Of course it is. How could it be otherwise?